Okay.
You like the Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, so we finished up. So we finished in the first Mishnah. We finished the first three sections of it. Is Aleph, Bet, and Gimel. We're going on to the fourth one. So yesterday we were going on about how it's important that we should be remembering the destruction of the temple and getting up at Chatzot to study and to daven. And we just got to finish off that one. It says, that is correct for him to be distressed and to show concern over the destruction of the Churban HaMikdash. On that, the Mishnah Berurah comes to say, they should be distressed. Says, even though when we're getting up at Chatzot and we're distressed over the destruction of the temple, it says when we study the Torah and we say the tefillahs around it, be with joy. But that should be with joy. We're doing it because we're distressed over the destruction of the temple, but the same when we pray and when we study Torah, must be besimcha. We should not be depressed when we're studying Torah. It says Churban Beis HaMikdash. This is what specifically about the Churban, the destruction of the temple. Ketav the Shla, the Shnei Luchos HaBris, the Shla of Izar Horovitz says, Shebechol Sudar Yomar Al HaNeirot Bava. So that every meal, when we say the Bikas HaMazon at every meal, we start off with the Psalm Al HaNeirot Bava, about the rivers of Babylon. And that's when we're remembering the destruction of the temple, we're remembering the exile. So when we sit down, before we say Bikas Mazon, we say that. Ushabat v'chol b'yamim she'ein omrim she'ein omrim b'hem tachanun yomah shir hamalot. There's on days like Shabbos or days where we don't say tachanun, and the days when we don't say tachanun, he says on those days we say shir hamalot. You know, when we sit at Shiur Shlishis or Friday night we sing Shir HaMalos and then we do stuff. Va'ikar sheyadei ma hakamar v'chad kavanat halev hein hadavar. Says it should be that we should know, as it says, that with our intention of the heart, so should be our actions. So we should be mourning for the temple, but at the same time we should be remembering the temple and all of that. So, and it comes, and now we go, and so now it comes, and he's talking about, so what's the next step to all of this? So the fourth section of this Mishnah says, and it is better to say a few prayers of tachanun, a few of these supplications with correct intention, to say them all with no intention. That you're just reciting it. You come and you say shachrit, and you just recite without really meaning. So now he's talking about, so now we're going on. So whether we talk about where the person gets up at midnight on Mondays and Thursdays, that you're going to try to rush through it, to say the whole of tachanun, it's better to say a bit less of it with intention than to rush through it without intention. So what? So that's the Shulchan Aruch. What does the Berurah say on this? Below kavanah. Below kavanah. It says without intention. Aval im hamabeh kivain bahem tachnun yomah shir hamalot b'shuv Hashem kolcho rakash yadei ma kama v'chad kavanat halev hen below aval im hamabeh kivain kam kain hamabeh tov yoter. It says, however, if a person is able to, with intention, say more, you should say more. Don't use the excuse of saying I have to do less because of intention. It's an excuse just to do less. If you can do more with the correct intention, that is the first prize. Do more with the correct intention. You cannot.
Does that depend on time?
It depends on the individual. So you might find, like over here, we often find that for whatever reason, when it comes to tachanun, I do it slowly. I'm not always finished when they're finishing Tachanun. Mondays and Thursdays. For whatever reason, that takes me long. I don't know why. It just does. So it's better to do it slower. They're saying it's better to do it slower, leave 1 or 2 out, than to rush through it. No, they aren't. No, because you're doing what you can.
Is it longer than Video, is it longer than
Video.
Yeah. Say video. Is that longer than
No, it depends on which video. There's different videos.
Before you die. Is it longer than
No. He said what he's that the Mishnah Berurah, not me. Rav Yisrael Meir Kagan, one of our greatest halachic authorities of the last century, turns around and says it is better to say less with intention than more without intention. If the people are doubling too fast for you, you do what you can with intention, then you skip a bit.
Why I say that? You are writing a letter to someone.
But you can't. But the point is that over here we're dealing with Hashem. God knows exactly what.
How much time do you devote to that?
Over here specifically talk about Tachanun, but the same would apply to any section. There are some sections. No. So there's some sections. There's some sections where you complete. You go move ahead of the community. The community moves ahead, you complete, and then you skip to catch up. So you won't cut short the Shema. You won't cut short the Amidah. But yeah, no, so I'm not sure about a lane, but definitely when it comes to Tehillim. I'm not sure about a lane. I'm not sure where a lane fits in. But definitely for Tehillim and Tachanun. Okay.
Is it always good to do the preached Amidah? No, the one that's at the end. There's one after the Amidah. There's like another preached Amidah. Do you have to say that every day? No, there's like an abridged Amidah.
I'm not sure. You have to show. I'm not sure what you're talking about. There's no bridge Amidah after the Amidah mention.
Yes.
No, that's not an abridgment. That's a Yehirat song. That's part of the Amidah. Yeah. So it's not. No. That's only on Shabbos. Because we don't have a repetition on Shabbos. On Shabbos, on Friday night, we just do it. That whole Vayachulu is an abridged Amidah. Because we don't have a repetition on Friday night, but we then do that. Yeah. ואם הממעט שיש לו אונס ואינו יכול להעריך, או שהוא משאב עצמו שאם יעריך לא יהיה יוכל לכוון. It says, so what is the person that is unable to, what is we talking about? So the person that says, I have to cut it short because it's just difficult for me. It's too difficult for me to say all of it. Or if I say the whole long thing, there's no ways I can concentrate. Both these reasons are valid reasons to say less of the Tachanunim. And Hashem will give it. These are valid reasons so if a person cannot do the whole thing with kavanah, rather do less. If it's difficult for you, if you struggle, don't struggle. Do less with the thing. Don't sit there worrying, oh, I'm not going to make it. It's going to be too difficult. Rather do less. These are valid reasons to do less. Yours is not to, thank you for quoting Pikavot. Yours is not to finish the job. Yours is to start the job. The master is.
And you've got somebody sitting in your family, you say they pray. You know they pray for the sex.
Yes.
Right. So now, you rather keep that one importantly and have it done, isn't it?
Okay. So as I say, the Amidah does not fall into this. The Amidah, even if the community starts doing the repetition, you continue with the Amidah. You'd stop and listen to the Kedusha, but you still finish your own Amidah. The Chazan's repetition is so people can catch up. That's not point to the chazan. There are other things. So you'll find that the shla sees the repetition of the chazan as a great spiritual thing to be able to listen to every word and say amen to it. But you still have to complete your own. You still have to complete your own amida. Yes. That's fine. Yes. Correct. You just join them wherever they are. So, and it is on this that we say, this thing where it says that it's better to do a little with kavanah than a lot without kavanah. It says on this it says, Echad hamabeh v'echad hama'it, that the one who does a little, one who does a lot, both are turning their hearts to Hashem. Both are turning their hearts to Shamayim. It also comes with the learning of Torah. That there's not a fixed amount of Torah you have to learn. You learn according to your own needs. Everything is known before Hashem, whether you're doing things to your ability or not. But it's not according to how other people do. It's according to what you can do. It says whether it's with tachanunim, whether it's with your tehillim, whether it's with Talmud Torah, the important thing is not the amount. The important thing is the kavanah, the quality. You're praying to Hashem, and Hashem knows. God, what comes from Hashem is not, what is coming from Hashem is not, oh, he did 20 verses and he did 12. He's better. Rubbish. He did 20 verses without thinking. He did 2 verses with thinking. The 2's better. To aspire to do more is fantastic. Today I am keeping 3 mitzvot. Tomorrow I aspire to keep 4. Fantastic. Today I kept 100 mitzvot and tomorrow I'm only going to keep 90. Wait. What is about, Hashem knows your heart. Hashem knows the heart of the person that's doing it. And that is what is important.
We got the grace. Always remember this story of that. Actually, I think I mentioned it in the details. He was not village. It was black. I don't know the tax many directors discussed this problem from over, but they used to go to the stream and jump from one side to the other. And they asked the guy, what's going on with this blood? He's rock out. No, he's davening like that because he can't do any other way. It's more important to Hashem than your organization.
Okay, so another comes through on recordings is what people say around the table. So Harvey just told the famous story of the guy that every day they'd see him jumping over a stream again and again. The question was, is the guy Meshuggah? And they said, no. That's why he davens. That's why he can commune with Hashem. It's like the famous Chassidish story that it's Me'ilah time on Yom Kippur, and the rabbi is sitting there davening and davening and davening and is repeating it over and over, and everybody's standing there to lace him and with this heavy atmosphere of Yom Kippur, and in one is this poor shepherd boy with no ability to understand Hebrew, no ability to pray properly, and he walks into the shul, this atmosphere and what everything's happening, it just moves him. And he wants to connect, and he can't. He doesn't know the talis. He says, how can I? He doesn't know the words. He says, how can I? And he sticks his fingers in his mouth. He lets loose a whistle. And it pierces the entire shul. Everybody turns at him in shock. There's the holy Rebbe, davening so hard and repeating it over and over in tears because he's just not succeeding. And this shepherd boy comes into shul and whistles. And they're going to chuck him out. The Rebbe just says, wait. He says, I was davening so hard because I could feel my words not going through the gates. And this shepherd boy with that whistle, his desire to connect, that whistle opened the gates. It's not about the words. It's not about the quantity. It's about the quality. What you really mean. So he's coming and he's... As it goes on, he says here, Unishu Ba'al Torah, V'yeshu Leiv Lavinu Lamod. Says that person who is a master of Torah and has got the ability to study and to understand, Yahol Ivor Milomar Habaytat Milakasot, come on. It's going beyond this. A person that's got that ability to study and to understand, says for him, if he is going to say fewer tachanunim, so he can study more Torah, that's fine. Because maybe for that person, that ability to connect through studying Torah is great as the ability to connect through doing tachanunim. So for that person, study more. As if that's the way you connect. It's not about saying exact words. It's not about the exact tehillim you say, the exact tachanunim you say. It's about the intention and how you go about doing it. But tzarich ha'adam likboa lo ad eit lemod sifrei musar v'chol yom v'yom. And it is important that every single person should put aside time every day to study Musar, to study something about character correction. It says that Musar is self-correction. It's about improving it's not just about improving our Torah knowledge, but improving our behavior and our self-knowledge, our knowledge of ourselves, because that is what Musar is, understanding who we are. A little or a lot. So you'll find that some yeshivas, who we are, what are our midot? So it's what when we say yes, when we're doing Masilat Yesharim, what does he say? That every day you should look back. Because every night you should be making an account. He said, yes, what did I do this? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? But he says it's important. What now the MIshnah Berurah is saying along those lines is not just that we understand who we are, but should be studying something, as he says, Ki hagadol me'chavaro, yisro gadol hayimino. Because the words of the sages, of the great ones, are there to help us to improve. We should be studying books of Musar in order that we can understand ourselves. We can say, look at ourselves and say, what have I done wrong? What can I learn today that will help me to improve? So yes, studying Torah, studying how we relate to God is important. But relating to ourselves, understanding ourselves is just as important. Because if we don't understand ourselves, if we don't take account of who we are, how are we going to improve? It's great to go and study everything. But if I'm not finding ways to apply it to myself, because I don't understand who I am, then what am I studying? It's empty words. What's important here, with the issue that is driving home now, here is hakavanah, the intention. And it's because of that hakavanah that we grow and we improve. For Tavlin, it says because these words, that the words of the sages or the Tavlin or the spice, or the ability, this is what goes, and this the words of the sages that would go and give us the ability to go against our evil inclinations, go against where we are. Okay, so he continues. Okay, so we go on to the next section. Actually, we're going to stop there for today. So it's just a couple of minutes before past. And we'll go on to seif tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday. So we'll continue on Monday with this because there's no Biur Halacha on this section. Yeah. MIshnah Berurah. The MIshnah Berurah is a commentary on the Shulchan Aruch by Rav Yisrael Meir Kagan. It's also known as the Chofetz Chaim. It's the Chofetz Chaim. So he became known as the Chofetz Chaim over his works on Shmiras HaLashon, the Chofetz Chaim, all about guarding our speech and being careful with our speech. Obviously, he's one of these people who's very big on Musar, very big on making sure we know who we are. And he also wrote a commentary not on the whole Shulchan Aruch. The Mishnah Berurah only covers Orech Chaim. And Orech Chaim is the section of Mishnah Berurah which covers the festivals, it covers Shabbos, it covers morning prayers, it covers our behavior in the morning, how we get up. So it's almost the practical day-to-day section of Shulchan Aruch. The other section of Shulchan Aruch go into things like monetary laws, business laws, laws of kashrut and all of that, the laws of divorce, the laws of marriage, the laws of all of this. But the Orech Chaim is your daily practical laws. How we behave on Shabbos, how we behave on festivals, how we behave in our daily lives. That's Orech Chaim. And that is the section the Mishnah Berurah covers. But you find the Mishnah Berurah became almost a de facto standard. You find a lot of commentaries written afterwards on the Shulchan Aruch, which just go according and say, Al-Pi Seder HaMishnah Berurah, according to the order of the Mishnah Berurah. They start with the Mishnah Berurah as their baseline, and they continue from there. So just like the Shulchan Aruch was a baseline at the time it was brought out, because there were so many commentaries, it was so difficult for people to find anything, which is why he wrote the Shulchan Aruch. Yisrael Kagan died in 1930-something. No, the late... No. There hasn't been a Sanhedrin since... since about the 5th century. He's considered, the Mishnah Berurah is considered a great authority. It's one of the most... Berurah is... Mishnah Berurah is the Mishnah Berurah. Correct. It's not a name. It's not a person's name.
Now saying that we carry to God every day like we are. Now, how do we know that we haven't done the right thing? Because look, everybody is out to make a living for himself, correct? You see that there's money for himself. Now, how do you know that you haven't done something correct that day to make that difference?
Okay, let's go back to Masilat Yesharim.
Yeah.
He says incumbent on every person to sit and to review his day, to look at his actions and to understand did I do right or wrong. They can only do that according to his current knowledge, which is why we should then, as he says here, put aside time every day to study. So I might have done everything correct to what I know today, but I end up studying something today, so tomorrow I don't repeat a mistake I did without knowing today.
How do you know that you haven't made that mistake?
Oh, you might have, but you didn't know about it. Which is why you can never stop studying. You always have to continue studying. The idea is we're continuously growing and bettering ourselves. We never ever sit and say, I know enough, I can stop today. No, I think it's been part of Judaism for many thousands of years. We didn't need the yogi to tell us. Thank you, guys. Okay.